requirement. So here we are in the world that is changing, and we are all having to put on our fancy pivot shoes, right? And so I am finding with live streams that there's a lots of traffic. So we tried something new and using Zoom. My amazing guest and I, for Profound Professionals, have jumped in and were brave and tried something new. So I am Jessica Koch with Jessica Koch Consulting, and I do a Profound Professionals interview series. I feature amazing individuals who are leaders in their industry, but also touching the world in a greater way. Today, I have the pleasure of having someone who her job is to touch the world in a greater way. Tswana Sewell is yes, and I got it right. Score.
You got it right.
Hey, that was well practiced and well rehearsed, people. I want you to know a lot of work went into that. So she is the amazing executive director of American Cancer Society for the greater DC and Baltimore area. And it is just my pleasure to be here with you. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I'm so excited to hear about your journey and learn more about how we as a world can continue to support this cause. And so let's just get right into it. So thank you for being here, and start by telling us just a little bit about yourself, if you would, where you're from or whatever you'd like to share.
Well, Jessica, first, thank you so much for having me today. I'm so happy to be on Profound Professionals with you, representing the American Cancer Society. So as you can imagine, like you said, the world is changing, and just to be able to talk a little bit in a little while about the American Cancer Society is a really generous opportunity. So thank you so much. As it pertains to me, let's see, I was born in Philadelphia, raised in Wilmington, Delaware. I graduated from the University of Richmond with a degree in rhetoric and communication studies. And I kind of chuckle because the major title changed halfway through. So basically that's communications. I always knew I wanted to work in the nonprofit sector. So I volunteered a lot as a little kid and all throughout high school. And so my first job out of college was with a nonprofit in Philadelphia. And I was really fortunate that the president there gave me an early seat at the executive table. So pretty much I started as an assistant. And from day one, I was able to attend all the board meetings, all the executive committee meetings, the audit and finance committee meetings, which I still never knew what they were talking about for those meetings. But it was a really great opportunity to get to know some of the executives and the players around Philadelphia. Most of the folks in the room were heads of major corporations. And it was really good to see how decisions were made and how you work through a strategic plan and budgeting issues. So I had a lot of on-the-job training, so really appreciated that. And because I was able to grow with that organization, I actually stayed there for 10 years, doing very different roles. And then finally, after 10 years, I said, oh, well, maybe I'll try something different. And I moved over to the American Cancer Society. And now I've been here for 8.5 years.
So you're a stick to it kind of girl. I love that.
Yeah, you know,
thing, and you kind of dig in and you go deep and wide where you are versus kind of a lot of people in their career cycle. First of all, it's just so beautiful to find a person that as a child knew they wanted to volunteer and be involved in a nonprofit for their lifetime career. I mean, that's really, I mean, that's genuine. There's no other word. It's just lovely. It's absolutely beautiful. And it speaks to who you were when you just got started, from the get-go.
Thank you. I feel like I can't take credit. I credit my mom with that. You know, she really
As you should. I'm the mother of 7, and moms should get all the credit.
That's right. That's right. So she taught me how to care at an early age, and so yeah.
Wonderful. It's so here. I hope that's one of the golden nuggets people walk away with. That really, this extra time that we're all getting with our children. I'm homeschooling my 8-year-old, and she taught me how to care. Like, that's a quote that should go somewhere when, have you written your book yet? Because when you write your book, that's the quote that mom gets to cry over when she reads in your in the lines of your book is she taught me how to care. And that's our opportunity now with our children as we're homeschooling, is teaching them how to care, and by example. And by example meaning, um, when things are lean, still remembering to sliver a slice, whether it's American Cancer Society or some other cause. But by example, having your children see, you say, okay, we're on this budget now, and we're being careful, and but we are still giving. So,
Mhm.
that's when it really matters. Giving when there's a little bit of it's great to give when there's lots of excess. Oh, we've got, it's overflowing over here. We got some extra here. We'll throw some your way. There's some that way. And that's easy to do. But when it's thinner and you're really looking at it and you still remember to take, that's a real life lesson there. That is learning how to care in action, with action, and with, even if it's volunteering somehow,
Mhm.
or making masks at home, or doing whatever it is you're doing. That is an example of teaching them how to care. And I think that's one of the things we should all try to do with our kids right now.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And it's, gifts don't have to be big gifts.
Mm-mm.
Like you said, gifts of time, or, for kids, if they just are walking around the house looking for loose change and they collect that and donate that, I think any charity would be touched, to receive those kinds of donations. Or if they have, special talents, like I believe your daughter is taking an art class.
All right.
Our cancer patients who stay at our Hope Lodge, which we'll talk about in a little bit, would love to, receive cards,
Oh,
from
wonderful.
young people who are at home drawing and just saying, hey, we're here thinking about you. So there's so much that folks can do, that doesn't necessarily involve money right now if people can't give that.
Well, let's focus and talk about this then. Let's share with us a little bit about the big picture, and then what's happening right now with American Cancer Society, please.
Yeah, so the American Cancer Society, we're in our 107th year of existence,
Okay.
and we are attacking cancer from every angle. So we are the largest funder of cancer research outside of the federal government. Over the years, we have invested more than $48 billion into cancer research. And in the greater DC, Baltimore area specifically, we have about $17 million invested in all types of cancer. So it's important to note that we fight back against all cancers.
Mhm.
Um, and sometimes when I quote those numbers, it sounds impersonal and it's like, well, we still have cancer. What are you doing with the money? What kind of progress have we made? So I give just a few examples, such as we now know, we kind of say, well, duh, smoking tobacco leads to lung cancer. It was actually the American Cancer Society that did a study in the 1950s that made the link between the two. And so now, we are seeing that lung cancer is still an issue. So we have a little bit more work to do, but at least we know what the cause is. And so we can help people, stop smoking tobacco and find other pathways to deal with stress or whatever else may be happening. The American Cancer Society also funded the doctor who developed the drug tamoxifen, which, if you're familiar with any breast cancer treatments and follow-up care, it's a very popular medicine there. So we've been a part of every major breakthrough in research. We also provide direct services. So the American Cancer Society, even still during this COVID-19 crisis, we're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week through our 1-800 hotline. So people can call 1-800-227-2345. And what is important to note is you will get a live person. So yes, there are some automated prompts, but you're not just, pushing buttons and talking to a robot. We actually have cancer specialists that are on staff that work 24 hours a day to connect people to resources and services that they need. So some of those resources and services we provide ourselves, so we will definitely let our callers know. I think more importantly, we have access to what's happening in people's local communities. What kinds of resources can we connect them to there? So I really encourage anyone who is going through a cancer journey, or if they have a loved one, to give us a call. Sometimes people just call us at 3 o'clock in the morning to talk through their diagnosis, and we're here for that too. Like, you don't have to have a purpose, like you need this particular resource. I think the last thing I'll say about this is sometimes when people are diagnosed, you don't know what you need right away. You're just worried. You've heard those words, you have cancer, and you need to talk to someone. So we are here, and pretty soon, coming soon for that, people will be able to video chat with the cancer specialist. Yeah,
I knew I was not going to be able to get through this interview without crying. I was trying to pinch myself, and they say there's another one where if you squeeze your bum the cheeks together that you won't cry, but it's not working. So I have many people that I love who have gone through, have made it, have not made it, are currently struggling. So this is something that is so important for so many families, and I'm so grateful for what you do. So in light of all the amazing support you provide families, what are you guys doing now? I know because I was honored to be involved with the relay in place Tuesdays, that you're featuring people on your Facebook page, and you're really pulling in and tapping into the families and the businesses that have given you love to feature them and support them. But tell us a little bit more about what's going on.
Yeah, so you heard me mention Hope Lodge earlier. Hope Lodge is our signature program, one of our signature programs that is nationwide. We have more than 30 of them across the country. And what they are is they're free hotel-like places for cancer patients and their caregivers to stay when their best chance for effective treatment is far from home. So for example, we have one right in Baltimore. It sits just right on the outskirts of the University of Maryland's campus, and folks travel from all over the country and the world to be treated at Hopkins, University of Maryland, Mercy Medical. You know, there's just a slew of hospitals in that area. And sometimes people have to have treatment for up to 6 months. So the cost of trying to stay at a hotel is just, it's limiting for, you know, a great deal of the population. So what we do is patients can be referred by their doctor to Hope Lodge. The average length of stay at Hope Lodge is about 3 weeks. But as I've mentioned, some people have to stay for 6 months or longer. And so we provide a private room for a cancer patient and their caregiver to stay, as long as they need private room, private bathroom. It really is like a hotel. We also have common spaces, like a common kitchen. Everyone has their own refrigerator space and shelf space, and they can cook meals there. There's a great room, a dining room, a library, a yoga room. So really, it allows people, if you are feeling bad and you want to retreat to your room and you just need that privacy, you and your caregiver can do that. If you're feeling a little bit better and you want a sense of community, you can come down to the great room. And what's wonderful is so many nights throughout the week, we'll have companies or just groups of volunteers prepare dinner for our Hope Lodge guests, or do an activity like a game night. So our guests really, really love that. I will say that during the coronavirus, we did have to make the heartbreaking decision to close our Hope Lodges to our cancer patients, because we were just no longer able to ensure their safety in such a communal living environment. So that happened in about mid-March. And then for a couple of weeks, our buildings were vacant. And the more news stories that we heard across the country about frontline workers doing very long shifts at hospitals and really being afraid to go home, we thought, well, we've got these spaces now. So I'm proud to say that in Baltimore, we've partnered with the University of Maryland Medical Center, and now we've turned the keys over to them. And so now their healthcare workers can use our Hope Lodge as a place for respite. So they'll have their private rooms where, you know, they can, in between shifts, not have to worry about infecting their families and have somewhere comfortable to stay.
What a fantastic way to step up and serve. You know, those people on the front line are just really experiencing. And it's not just the physical, it's the emotional thing. They're putting their minds they're at war, because they're trying to battle this thing. They're afraid for themselves and their own families. At the same time, they're sticking their neck out. And beyond that, they're watching the loss. They're front line on watching the lives that are being lost. And unfortunately, they're also frontline in the celebrations of the ones that make it and heal and get well and move on. So how fantastic for you as an organization to step up and support the soldiers that are battling this right now.
Yeah, I have to say, hopefully this doesn't sound so self-serving, but I'm really proud of the American Cancer Society.
Mm-hmm.
It's a decision that was made nationally from our national president, Gary Reedy, and I just think it was just such a wonderful way for us to be able to give back. And quite frankly, at a time where we're seeing donations are significantly down for us. So, what you were talking about earlier, we're trying to give the little bit that we have, to the frontline workers. And I don't envy them, but I admire them very, very much. It's really remarkable, actually, the type of bravery that they have to get up every day and put themselves directly in harm's way just to save another's life. It's absolutely amazing.
Especially since we don't understand so much about this particular illness, and we've come farther than we were when we started. But anyway, so that is unbelievable. I really also would like to focus, though, how can supporters help you? What can the community do to give? Because right now, typically there is runs and events and activities and festivals and all these different great fundraising opportunities that were surrounded by large crowds of people, and none of that is happening now. So how have you changed the opportunity for people to give, and what ways can they support you?
Thank you so much for asking that. You're right. This is typically our peak fundraising season. You mentioned Relay for Life a bit earlier. These are walks, some of them that go, 24 hours a day, and people come and they camp out with their families, and there's all types of activities. And, as you can imagine, we've had to suspend those activities. So the great news is that American Cancer Society volunteers are absolutely phenomenal. So a lot of these events are going virtual and doing what they can to still raise some funds. So if folks want to give just in general, they can go to cancer.org and they can find ways to donate there. They can donate nationally because honestly, every dollar counts. There's also typically a relay in almost every community. So if a person simply puts in their zip code on cancer.org, if they want to give locally, they can do that too. If folks want to give to support what we're doing, in partnership with our local hospitals for those frontline workers, they can also go to cancer.org and support the COVID fund, which will support those Hope Lodge folks. And if people want to engage with us, I have to just put a little plug in. We're having something called Relay USA on Saturday. Again, if folks go to cancer.org, they can sign up. Participation is free. I should mention that even during usual times, participation in our events are free, because it's really about celebrating cancer survivors, spreading awareness so that hopefully we can, lessen the cancer burden, which we have seen the death rates go down over the past 20 years or so. So anyway, on Saturday, people can join us for Relay USA. We'll be honoring our cancer survivors virtually. We'll be doing some luminaria ceremonies. So folks can really tune in there.
So will it be a live stream? Will it be a Zoom? How are you setting this up?
Yeah, it's going to go on the National American Cancer Society's page, Facebook page live. And so
and they can register on the site you gave, or would they just go to the page and watch it stream live, or how do they?
Yep, if people can go to cancer.org and they can register there. Again, it's free. And so I'm not a tech savvy person. So I would say the best thing to do is to go to cancer.org, and then it's really easy. It'll take you through the steps of, what you have to do. They'll make sure, all the participants who register have the link to join the Facebook Live and all of that good stuff.
Okay, good. And we'll make sure some of those links that we've been discussing throughout this conversation are in the comments or the description of this YouTube video below. This will also be pushed out on LinkedIn in an article and Facebook and Twitter. So wherever you're finding this, all the details should be here. And just reach out and shout out in comments if you need something else, because I'll be monitoring this.
Thank you
Um,
so much.
while we're talking about raising funds, one of the really exciting things that I will announce is the collaboration that we have. So a lot of times organizations will do some sort of fundraiser, and they'll sell a candle or a wrapping paper or whatever. You have the kids go out and march around and knock on doors, and then there's this fundraising split. Well, I teach sales and marketing. I'm a consultant. That's what I do. And I have built a LinkedIn basics class and an advanced class. And I am collaborating with American Cancer Society for them to be an affiliate of the program, which means when they share it out with your followings, whether they're families or businesses, American Cancer Society will receive a 40%. We've also right now, based on the World Healing, I have reduced my prices. So for the basics class, it's a $37 class for LinkedIn. This is fantastic for high school students 16 years or older, because our seniors are hopefully going to have some sort of amazing celebration. But this is a nice gift for them to be the stepping stone of their career. College students as well should really have a strong profile, be set up on LinkedIn so they can walk into the job of their dreams. This is also fantastic for if you or someone you know or a loved one has been displaced out of work right now. I am hearing at this point statistics of small businesses closing and the layoffs. It's dwindling down to, I heard 1 in 7 person has been laid off. Now I heard 1 in 5. I recently heard 1 in 3 people in America in some parts of the country are without work.
It's dating.
It's very, very frightening. And so for those people who are displaced out of work, getting yourself properly set up on a LinkedIn profile is invaluable to you to find your next opportunity, the next career step for you, the way to support your family. This basic intro class is also fantastic for business owners, whether you're small or national. It helps you establish strong referral partners, actually find clients, and connect with those people in a client base, as well as industry leader, and position yourself as an industry leader in what you do. So if you're in the C-suite, or if you're the small owner of an entrepreneur or kind of a small business, there's great value for you here. So a wonderful way for American Cancer Society to thank the families and businesses that follow. A wonderful way for me to have an opportunity and give. And for you also to receive funding all at the same time. So like, I feel like triple win, right? It's not just a win-win, it's a win-win-win.
Well, it really is, so we've been trying to think of creative ways to raise money. So, thank you so much for being willing to donate 40% back. And, just with so much social media happening right now and so many platforms, I feel like LinkedIn is one of those that really isn't maximized. And so many people don't really know how to use it, and that you can really leverage a new career or a personal brand, from LinkedIn. So I'll probably be joining one of your classes. Just so
and giving back to your favorite cause all at the same time, right? How
win-win.
that? Win-win. So be a hero, share this class, because if you share this class with a brother-in-law or a family member who, like I said, is facing that challenge, or you buy it as a gift for a college student or someone graduating from high school this year, you're a hero for them. You're a hero for American Cancer Society, and you're not too shabby in my book either. So it's a fantastic opportunity to turn this around, show how we can creatively think out of the box. And as we pull together as an amazing country, I'm going to sound like I'm a little bit sappy, but with my American flag waving, I feel like our country can conquer anything that we have to face. All the challenges we have faced before, we have rise to the occasion and pulled together and figured it out. And this is, I hope, just one more way to figure it out. So if you have a cause, or if you would like to participate in this, please contact me, because I think we really need to support our nonprofits now more than ever. I want to thank you so much for spending this time with me.
No, thank you for having me. Great.
Absolutely. And thank you for all of those of you who are watching and who are commenting and sharing this. We're so grateful for your kind words, and whatever you're able to do, because even sharing the information about the national event or sharing the information about some of the links that we share is still something that you can do, an action you can take now, that is helpful. So before we say goodbye, because I hate to say
Yeah.
goodbye, I've really been enjoying getting to know you, and I learned so much more about what you have to offer, that I didn't know before. So I'm excited about that. But as we say goodbye, I'm going to say, please like, share, and comment, show the love, take action, do something,
Yeah.
subscribe,
Yeah.
like, share, comment, all the things, do all the things to show all the love. Don't just tell us you love us, actually do it. Okay. With that said, before we say goodbye, I always ask, is there one last thing you could share with us? Something that has inspired your life, other, whether a quote, we already have pulled your mama quote, a book, something that you're doing that's helping you through this, some sort of ritual or process. What is something you can share with everyone out there that you feel like, they can apply to their life right now or use, that will be good to support them?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, I mean, and not even now in all times, it's all about mindset and
Mhm.
perspective, right? So, external challenges are going to come our way throughout our lives, and it's all about how we handle those things. So,
Mhm.
I can't lie and say I haven't had my sad days where I freaked out, like what is happening in the world, because I absolutely have. But for the most part, I'm just feeling really blessed that I have my health. When I look at folks who are losing their job, I'm feeling blessed that at least right now I still have a job, I have food to eat. So really, it's all about perspective, and if you can just find that inner peace, no matter what's happening, I think even when the world around you is swirling, you can kind of stay the course and you know I think in a time like this, honestly, it's enough if you can just take care of yourself. But if you can find the strength to help take care of someone else because you found your sense of peace, then oh my gosh, you're doing, so much in the face of a pandemic. Like I have literally never said that word before, you know, coronavirus. So
Still
it,
haven't quite let it come out of my mouth. Yeah,
yeah.
I know we're in one. I just haven't said the P word.
So mindset, sorry. So yeah, all about mindset and perspective. So I've been listening to Oprah and Deepak's, guided meditations,
Mhm.
and just trying to be as still as possible because there's nothing else really
Love
to
that.
do. But even when there's like work challenges, set aside, coronavirus, I think all about perspective, and folks around you see that. If you're oozing positivity, that type of thing is contagious, and
Yeah.
folks want to be around you. So typically you'll rise to the top.
I love that. Mindset is such a beautiful thing. And because you said that, usually I then say goodbye, and we say goodbye to everyone. But I'm going to share, one of my tools from that perspective and topic, as one of the things when I feel very low and I've sort of dug myself into a very low space and it feels dark and lonely, I use what I call a gratitude ladder to get myself out and to
I
stay
love
on top.
that.
And every wrong is okay. I have this. Oh, okay. I have this. And I just keep going until I get so far at the top that you're right. I could then turn around and reach back down into the hole and help pull someone else out,
Yes.
So the gratitude ladder keeps me sane, because there have been days, and just recently, like, cause I'm Mrs. Sunshine. So I'm always Miss Pop. Oh, this will all be fine. Oh, we'll be fine. These aren't uncertain times. My times are certain. I'm good. Everybody's fine. We're all going to be fine. That's like who I am, right? I'm finding the rainbows, and I still am focused on the rainbow through the mist of the rain that we're still experiencing as a country. But recently I'm sad my daughter's not at school. She misses her friends.
Yeah.
The Zooms are great, but this is starting to make me sad. I'm sad she's not at soccer. It's Spring of Beautiful. We're normally at soccer every Saturday. I miss that. And
Yeah.
I, more than anything, miss hugging my friends.
Yeah.
And I'm having a wedding anniversary coming up. So then I start to feel like I'm playing the violin for Jesse. Oh, this is so sad. And I remember, oh my gosh, there's people fighting on the front line. There are people who are losing people they love. So suck
Yeah.
it up, buttercup, and get back on your gratitude ladder and reach out and help the world, So I love the mindset thing. I love the meditation. Thank you for sharing that with us. I'm going to hopefully speak for you too. We both send all of our love and prayers for your family during this time.
Absolutely.
Dave, reach out to, um, there's so many resources out there. Reach out to someone, reach out to us, comment, like, share, but find some help if you need some, because we can point you in a direction, even if it's not directly related to cancer. I'm sure there's a resource that we can plug you into if you are just feeling lost right now. Because I want to say to everyone, you're not alone. And so I'm Jessica Koch with Profound Professionals. Thank you for your time today. And goodbye, everybody.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.